Hello, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for joining me today on the meditation channel. So before we start, just a quick, I'm sorry about a few things. Number one, the mess behind me. Number two, my face. I have gotten a peel done, and so my skin is peeling. My makeup looks just absolutely wonderful. The lighting is fooling you guys because if I get close, you can see it's peeling. So if you see that, please ignore it. Just listen to the message because I have a schedule. I have information to deliver. So let's just get to it. All right, guys. So for this year, 2025, I've been getting quite a few interesting downloads, and it's the year of the snake, thus the shedding of the skin. Oh, the synchronicities. And one of the things that I have been receiving very, very strongly has been about manifestation. So for those of you who don't know, 2024 was my year of manifestation. I quit all of my jobs and I decided to simply pursue my passions. So I wanted to see if for 1 year I could live a life of just fulfilled passion. So I pursued my acting, I pursued my meditation channel, I pursued my live meditation classes, and well, it did happen for me. I managed to survive a whole year doing exactly what I wanted, and that year was absolutely awesome, like life-changing. And I wanted to test a little bit the whole manifestation thing. You know, I wanted to see if it was real. I wanted to see if it was really doable if you completely dived into it with the knowledge that I have, with the little knowledge that I have. And so this year, being the year of the snake, I've gotten a lot of downloads about the fact that this is a year of shedding, letting go, being authentic, okay? So really bringing about what's underneath the layers, right? Your truthful self, your honest self, your authentic self. And the truth of the matter is that most of us don't know what that is or who that is because unfortunately, due to our upbringing, our social programming, this planet, we have had to condition ourselves to survive, to manage to fit into this world. And I think this year, a lot of those layers are going to shed away for a lot of us, and we're going to discover things about ourselves that I think are going to be very surprising and possibly shocking. And maybe some of them not so surprising. Maybe it's something that you've always felt, that you've always known that's been inside of you, but you just never explored until this year. So I do encourage you this year, by the way, to really step out of your comfort zone from that place. So if you're the type of person who's very controlling and who likes to have things a certain way and is not very used to change, it might be a little bit of a tough year for you because it's very much a year, again, of letting go. So if you're a controlling person and you're very attached to something, it's going to be very painful for you. So I would look into something, into resistance to change. There's a video on Teal, Swan, who made a video on resistance to change that I do recommend that you watch if you're that type of person. I'll put the link below. Highly encourage it. I highly encourage you to watch it because it helps you really understand why resistance is such an issue. And I'm not saying, by the way, when I say resistance, it's not about just giving up, okay? It's not just about, okay, here, have it, you know, just giving things away. It's really about understanding the things that no longer serve you, that are no longer in alignment, especially with your manifestation, with the very thing that you wish to bring about. So remember, we manifest the things that we believe, right? So if there are parts of you that are in contradiction to that belief, to that desire, okay, to that manifestation, those parts of you that believe that you're not worthy, that it's going to be hard, that it's going to be impossible, that it's not going to happen to you, if you hold on to those, then you can't manifest. Or if you do, it's like having an anchor and then you're like slowly moving forward as opposed to just sailing forward towards that manifestation. So the other thing that I got about this year that was very interesting had to do with inner child. So manifesting through and with the inner child. Now, this is something that I'm still kind of trying to understand. I don't have all the answers. Most of the time the information comes to me or it's a download. And when it came to the inner child, It's something that kind of was like this knowingness, this understanding that this made complete sense, even though I don't understand it 100%. And by the way, guys, we don't have to have the answers to everything. Sometimes just being curious, just asking the questions and exploring that energy, that perspective can open up doors to so many answers. But I do know that there is a huge link to that. So I will share with you the things that I do understand and that I have received very clearly. So when it comes to your manifestation, right, to your desire, what is it that you want to manifest? So let's just say, for instance, you want to manifest money. And why? So there could be many reasons, right? Could be superficial reasons, which is, well, I like things. I like luxurious things. I want a house. I want a beautiful car. Great. Nothing wrong with that. But let's peel the layers, right? The layers, the skin, again, the snake, right? Getting down to the core of it, when I look at it for myself, for instance, it's really about freedom and safety. So the freedom to play, to be creative, to basically do whatever I want. It's that freedom where I don't have to answer to anybody else, where I don't have to show up if I don't want to show up. Essentially, it's freedom, pure freedom. And of course, financial freedom, right? If I want something, I can buy it, which by the way, I think by the time you get money, it doesn't really matter so much, the material things. And then when it comes to safety, right? It's the safety of knowing that I'm going to be okay, that I'm going to be safe, that if I need something, and I mean a need for life or death reason or for safety reason, I can purchase that, I can acquire that, or I can have that. And so the way I discovered that was really to do a meditation or to connect with my inner child. Now, for those of you who don't know much about inner child essentially, it's a part of us. It's a personality, if you like, that still lives within us. It's our inner child, little us, that is still there. They still have dreams. They still have hopes. And oftentimes when you do a lot of shadow work, we talk a lot about the wounded inner child. So the parts of you that were wounded as a child, and essentially they were frozen in time and they never really grow up. So you ever seen somebody who acts like a child when something doesn't go their way? That's an example of a wounded inner child. But just like you have a wounded inner child, you have a gifted inner child. You have a powerful, healed inner child. And so when it comes to manifesting, connecting with that part of you and bringing back that magic, that playfulness, that joy, that innocence, that purity, that it's an energy essentially. It's an archetype, even if you like, right? It's a frequency that you're awakening within us, within you, and you're connecting that to your manifestation. And when you do that, you receive information which goes deeper than the superficial things, right? For instance, let's just say you want to lose weight, okay? Now, this could be something that some people might think is superficial. It's like, who cares? Well, it could be obvious reasons. Let's just say health. I want to feel good about myself. I want to like what I see in the mirror. But again, if we go down to the layers and we tap into the inner child, because I want to be able to run. I want to be able to play. I want to be able to jump. I want to be able to do the splits. I want to be able to dance. I want to be able to feel something that I cannot right now. And it really comes down to the inner child, that innocent, pure energy, pure essence that still lives within us, that is seeking that fulfillment. And I really encourage you to start exploring that. So how do you do that? One of the things that you can start doing is literally, one of the things that I do is I visualize little me, sounds a little woo-woo, and I talk to her. I literally talk to her and ask her what she wants. Or I'll go into a meditation where I see her, I project her in front of me, I present to her my desire, my manifestation, and then I ask her questions. It's like, why do I want this? What do I get out of it? What are my fears? Children are very honest. They're very honest. They're very blunt. So you'll find that you'll get information from different aspects of you that help you complete that puzzle when it comes to manifesting. Also, just the power of the energy of a child. So when we're talking about energies and frequencies when it comes to manifestation, if you awaken the inner child to connect to your manifestation, that is a very powerful frequency that you're awakening within you to help all of you to align with that desire. So I hope this is making sense, and I hope this kind of like got something going in your mind, because this I think can really change the lives of some of you, can really transform the way that you manifest. And it's just something that really was just a download that came to me that just made complete sense. One of the things that I wanted to share with you, one of the techniques that I wanted to share with you that you can do when it comes to manifesting your inner child. So it's called psychography or automatic writing, okay? Or channeled writing, depending on who you ask. So essentially what you want to do is you want to get pen and paper. You want to get a second where you're quiet, and you want to set the timer for 10 minutes. Now, there's a reason why I say that you need to set the timer for 10 minutes, because it takes, for some of us, it takes a while to tap into our subconscious mind, to tap into the inner child. And for some of you, it might be a lot easier. For some of you, it may not. So I invite you to basically close your eyes. Just take a moment to calm down the nervous system, to calm down the mind. Take a few breaths, maybe do a 5-minute meditation before. Essentially, you just want to calm down the nervous system and get yourself focused. Once you do that, you can literally say it in your mind. I call forth my inner child to channel to me and through me information to help me manifest this desire. And you want to write that. I call forth my inner child to channel to me and through me information to help me manifest this desire. And then, of course, you set the timer. By then the timer is going, and then you just start writing. And I want you to kind of think of it kind of like your role playing or your acting, where you allow that inner child to step forward and you take the back seat. Now, this is going to feel like playing. This is going to feel like fantasy. This is going to feel like you doing it. Doesn't matter. Don't listen to that voice. Just play the game. So the whole point here is to play the inner child game, okay? So an inner child would play that game, would live in that fantasy, even if they knew that this was all BS, right? They would just go there. So it's the same here. I invite you to do the same. And if you can do that, I promise you, you will get information that's going to blow your mind. So when you do that for 10 minutes, now a couple of things that are very important. Number one, do not stop writing. It's going to be very, very difficult to do that. But if you have to, write blah, 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 or ask the question over and over again. Write down the first thing that comes to you. Don't worry about punctuation. Don't worry about spelling. Just like a kid, right? You're just playing. You're just letting it go. You're just letting the information come through to you. And see what comes up, guys. See what information you download, see what you receive. This is, by the way, a technique that a lot of mediums and a lot of psychics use. I personally use that for a lot of my own healing work for myself, to gather information, to get downloads, to open up the energies. It's a very, very, very powerful technique, but you have to commit to it. If you sit there and you listen to the nay, then it's going to be very difficult for you to play that game. But hey, you got nothing to lose. And by the way, no one's watching you. Okay? We judge ourselves all the time. We're just like, oh, but what if somebody, who cares? Nobody's there. Okay? You can break it up after. You can throw it in the trash. I don't recommend doing that. I do recommend, by the way, reading that a couple of days later. But that's something that you can do. Okay. All right. So I think that's it for today, guys. I think I've gotten the most important information down. By the way, very important announcement. I am making an email list. So yeah, I don't know how you guys are gonna, oh yes, okay, so you can contact me. You can find me on my website, and you can contact me directly there. Send me an email if you're interested in joining my mailing list. Essentially what is going to happen is I'm going to start sending out information, products, meditations, anything essentially that I'm doing, classes that I'm teaching, online classes, workshops that I'm doing this year, so books, you name it, all of the things that I do. So if you're interested in that, and if you like my material and you want to keep up to date with everything, then send me an email and I will put you on the list. And check your spam, because apparently it goes into spam. I'm still figuring out the whole thing. All right, guys. Well, I'm excited for 2025. Best of luck for 2025, and I will talk to you soon. Have a magical day. Bye-bye.